What's up, everybody? It's Rox, and I thought that it would be a good time to start a new series that I wanted to start on my channel called It's Real with It's Rox. And this channel is going to just basically be on subjects where we can just be real with one another. Okay, so today's subject is going to be on sex toys. Anyway, let me just tell you a story real fast. So about 15 years ago, I used to work in Los Angeles, and I worked with a lot of older women. And I had got close with a few of them. And one of them in particular, she was very uncomfortable about anything sexual. Like, she just wouldn't ever express, when the girls get together, the girls get together and everybody get to talking about how big this was or how long this lasted or whenever we would get into those kind of conversations, she would kind of shy away. And I always noticed. So I would try to make it my mission to make her uncomfortable whenever the subject would come up, and I would always ask her what she thought. Well, one time we got started on adult toys, and she had took it upon herself to act like, she was like, I have one. And I said, you have one what? I have one. As a matter of fact, I need to get a new one because mine is burned out. It's not working anymore. And I was like, oh, you've been using it that much, huh? She'd get all embarrassed. But anyway, since she said she needed a new one, I said, well, I'm going to go with you. Let's go to the store. And there was an adult store near my job. Well, and she and I said, well, so let's go there. Well, she didn't want to go there because it was like half strip joint, and then the other half of it was an adult store. So she didn't want to go there. She was uncomfortable. She was like, I have a place where I get mine. And I said, oh, okay, well, I'll go with you. Come get me. So on a Saturday, we got up, and she picked me up, and we went to Del Amo Mall. So I was just thinking to myself, like, oh, I didn't know Del Amo Mall had an adult store inside of it, but I didn't say much. I was riding, enjoying my Saturday out, and we got there, and we parked, and we was walking in the mall, and we started walking into Brookstone. And I was like, Brookstone got adult toys? And she was like, yeah, this is where I go. This is where I come. And I was just like, oh, okay. But I had never seen no damn sex toys at Brookstone, but I was just like, this is where she goes, this is where she goes. We walk in there, she walks up to this table full of massagers. And I was like, what's this? And she said, this is my thing. And I said, that's your thing? And she said, yeah, this is what I use. And y'all, let me tell you. The thing was about this big. I can't even show. It was about the size of like a 2-liter soda bottle. Okay. And it had a big old gigantic pad on the end about this big. And it was a good 14 inches long. And it had the top right up here, it vibrated. So I was just like, girl, that ain't no damn vibrator. She's like, yes, it is. This is what I use. And I was like, come on, don't tell me you are using that thing. And she said, that's what I use. And look, it even got different little connections. She started showing me the things with the little nozzles, the damn prongs sticking out, and the brush coming out. You could connect. I was like, girl, what are you trying to massage your ass? I mean, how you gonna use that thing in the spot that you need to use it in? She said, this is what I use. I said, I'm going to take you to the store. We're going to go buy a real one. This is not, what are you, no. So she still was very adamant. She would not go to the store. I wanted to take her to like Pleasure Chest or the Hustler store. Of course, she wasn't going to do that. So we ended up getting a catalog, and, it was all very covert, and, we had to huddle together and look through the catalog, and I had to show her different ones, and, she didn't want nobody to know. I mean, the whole thing was just crazy to me. But, she was older, and I was trying to get her out of her comfort zone and try something new. So, fast forward 15 years later, And are people still that uncomfortable with sex toys? You know, um, they are. Case in point, I have a friend whose mate does not see the need for any sex toys, who has no desire to try to use a sex toy, who doesn't understand why anybody would even want to try a sex toy. And that's your prerogative. If that's how you operate, then that's fine. But I just kind of wanted to talk about the myths that are surrounding sex toys and adult toys and the whole porn industry and the whole adult industry. So let's get started, okay? The very first myth is that people who use sex toys don't have a healthy sex life. Um, that is not true, because the fact that you would use a sex toy has nothing to do with the fact that you are getting it regularly. Many people like to think of sex toys as an addition to in their sex life, something to add to it, something to spice up their current sex life. You know, it's not that it's just some extra horny woman, or some, strange man off in the closet doing whatever he does with his toy. It's just, this is something that could be adopted into a full-blown sexual relationship between two partners. And it doesn't have to be just one person with their toy. It could be both of you guys. So that's one of the myths. Another myth is that the sex toys are bad. Now, this is a moral issue, and it has to do with your beliefs and what you feel is right and wrong. To me, and I'm keeping myself out of the example, but in my opinion, when two consenting adults, be it boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, or just two sex partners, have decided that this is what they want to do responsibly, I don't really see the bad in it. It is not, morally, this is something that you have to deal with on your own. If you don't feel comfortable, if it's a moral issue, then of course you just stay away from it. But if it's just the fact of being comfortable, why don't you just start off slowly? Try something small. Okay, and the last myth that I want to talk about is that if a woman has a sex toy, then she doesn't need a man. Y'all see my face? I don't know. I'm going to say this real clearly. I don't know no woman who would rather have sex with a vibrating plastic shaft than a real life human being man with a big back, strong legs, a waist to wrap their arms around with, and a breathing man and heart beating. Come on, you guys. Like, let's understand why women buy these toys. It could be a woman that has been celibate for some time. You still got to get the relief. And if you have made a decision not to have sex until you get married or until you're in a really committed relationship, and that is fine. It still ain't saying that you can't take care of what you need to take care of. I want men to kind of not be so insecure about this. It's like, we ain't said nothing about you can't do what that you don't know how to do it. Why can't we use this also? What we're saying is we want to use this too. And I think that when women use sex toys, and this could be anything from, the bullet, the rabbit, the rock and robin, you have vibrators, you have dildos, which don't move. They're just the actual object, inanimate object. And a lot of other things, feathers and whips, light sadism or masochism. I hope you guys don't think I'm strange. I just love to talk about these things. If you guys know me and my friends know me, I have no problem talking about sex. But what I was saying was, I think that women who are open enough, who are comfortable enough to use a toy, are usually the ones who know what they do and don't like. It's like exploring your body and getting to know what you Like what feels good to you, where it feels good, how it feels good, how long it feels good. It's like, you know, nothing is worse than being with your sex partner and they feel like they're doing all this work and you sitting there laying there ticking off things that you got to do tomorrow. Okay, I got to run to the bank, run to the grocery store, all the babies need to get, you know, it's like, how fair is that to you or your partner that you sitting there very preoccupied because they are doing nothing that you want? You haven't said what you wanted because maybe you don't know. So maybe the toy is also a way that you can get to know yourself better. And if you know yourself better, what better way could you present yourself to somebody else? All right, you guys, so that's it. This is the first of my It's Real with This Rock series, and we are going to be doing these occasionally. Sometimes they'll be about sex, sometimes they'll be about relationships, sometimes they'll be about whatever. But it's always going to be something that might be a little bit uncomfortable, but things that we need to talk about, okay? This is my YouTube channel. It's for itsrox. I have a fan page on Facebook, and that's called itsrox, and I'm going to have a website soon called itsrox.com, and I do have my Twitter that one day soon I will get started on. I need somebody to give me a tutorial. So that's it. I am about to go and enjoy my day, and I hope you guys do the same. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.